Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shit. So today we're here to talk about another one. We have yet another situation of a woman getting divorced. And we're going to go ahead and break it down. And before we break this down, I know y'all thinking, oh, that's their marriage. Why do y'all care? Why do y'all... Let me go ahead and make something clear because clearly we don't understand the concept of certain things. Shout out to my good sister, Nika. I was in her chat earlier today on her live stream, and there was a woman in there who was talking about, oh, life is short. Don't take it so serious. Like, it's not that serious. And I said, see, that right there is our biggest problem as Black women. We think everything is a joke. We think everything is about what makes us happy. We think everything is about, oh, it's not that serious. It's just life. Like, live, laugh, love. And so if you're that kind of woman that live, laugh, love, it's not that serious, go ahead and exit this video right now because you're not my crowd. I want to go ahead and let y'all know right now, life is dead serious. No pun intended. Life is 100% serious. Life requires structure, rules, accountability, expectations. And I know for a lot of you women, you just translate that as an attack to you. And those are the women who really should never get married. Marriage is a serious thing. I know this might seem obvious to state, but the whole purpose of marriage, what makes marriage different than a long-term relationship, is in a long-term relationship, it gives you the space where you can say, if this person ever doesn't do what I want them to do, if this person ever doesn't listen, if I just wake up one day and don't like this person and change my mind, I'm within my right to do that. That's a long-term relationship. Can we normalize people loving each other and being in long-term relationships without the expectation of getting married? Because this is what we have. We have people who are getting married, but you don't even really like marriage, because then when you start to complain about your issues with the marriage, it's stuff you should be happy to do because that's what marriage is. So can we stop pressuring people like, why are you not married? Loving someone and wanting to spend a long time with them is different than I love you and I'm going to be with you no matter what for the rest of my life until I croak. Those are two different things. And when you have these marriages that are 3, 5, 10, 15-year marriages and then they're done, in my mind, you could have just been boyfriend and girlfriend. If you weren't ready to do this until you perish, what is the point of the marriage? Okay, who is holding a pistol to your head, making y'all walk down these aisles? These divorces are just getting absolutely ridiculous at this point. And then some people may say, oh, well, why do y'all care? It's their marriage. Marriage, ironically, has a lot to do with community. This is why two people can't just go off by themselves and get married. Marriage always requires at least what witnesses and someone to officiate, right? And the witnesses are for what? Accountability. This is why you have to have witnesses when you're getting married. It is so that you have someone to hold you accountable to say, no, we saw you say, for better and worse, sickness and health, death do us part. Okay. So as women, if it typically is up to us to influence men to want to get married, it definitely is also our job as women when we see that the married women lately are showing their natural behinds. The married women lately, I'm just sitting back like, ooh, the ghetto between Monique Samuels, Kim Zolciak, Tia Mowry, acting a fool, Aisha Curry. Don't get me started on her. I got a whole nother video coming for that whore. Okay, we'll talk about it another day. But the married women acting a fool. So let me give you an illustration of what's going on right now. What's going on is the married women, it's like a wooden bridge. It's like two cliffs. The married women have got across the bridge, got to their side. Now they're burning the bridge and saying, to hell with the single ladies on the other side. And this bothers me as a woman who has a lot of women that I work with. And I have 20 girls right now ready for marriage. Beautiful, healed, ready, mindset right. But now we have men who keep seeing these horrible situations go off and no one's checking them. And all the women are like, do what makes you happy. And the men, even though they may love a woman, may want to be with the woman, they are terrified for the marriage because, at the end of the day, those vows just are not being taken seriously. Before you marry someone, you need to really get to know them, vet them, have those uncomfortable conversations, talk about logistics, expectations, because then you get married in 3 years down the road, 10 years down the road. You're getting divorced for stuff that easily could have been a conversation before you put it in blood like that. So it is our business. And this is actually what we're going to have to start doing as women. When you see married women acting a fool, thinking everything is a joke, thinking everything is about them, and loathing their very position as wives, we got to start calling it out. Married, single, tall, short, big, so it don't matter. Yeah, it's time for us to go ahead and start calling it out, and that's what we're going to do. So those of you who don't know, Monique Samuels is one of the Real Housewives of Potomac, well, she used to be. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little bit of the backstory, then we're going to talk about this. So Monique met her husband when she was like 19 years old. First red flag. I have said this before. I will say it again. We need reform in Black marriage. In my opinion, Black people have too much trauma, PTSD to get married under age 25. Ideally, like our good ancestor, Francis Cress Welsing say, is the men should get married at 35 and the women at 29. When you have a group of people, a race of people like us, where 99% of us grew up in some type of dysfunction and trauma, you are setting people up for failure, telling these girls that by 21, they need to be someone's wife. It's not fair that you tell men that they don't hit their prime and their stride till they're 40, but you're telling girls at 21, that's her prime and she should be equipped mentally and spiritually to conduct a household and be someone's wife. And we continue to see them marrying at 19, 21, and they're divorced by 30, 35. So at what point do we say, this is not working? We probably need to go ahead and have reform. The only way that I have seen it be healthy, the only way I would encourage a girl to get married 19, 21 is if both sides have very solid and involved parental guidance, guidance from grandparents, some type of strong religious foundation. But to take the average Black boy and Black girl at 21, smack them together and get married, literally, come on, how many times do we do this before we realize that's just not going to work? So we need reform, okay? We need therapy, healing, some time to get to know yourself before you're signing your life away with someone else. So Monique met her husband at 19. And I want y'all to keep in mind, Monique was homeless when she met him, which goes back to the next thing I have been screaming from the mountaintop, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. As a man, you don't need to date a woman who does not have her basic adult needs together. This ain't got nothing to do with male or female. Let's take away male and female and go to adult. An adult woman should be able to have some kind of transportation, some type of roof over her head. The problem with men who get with women who have never self-sustained as an adult is they will take your provision as a joke. When you have a woman who couldn't even take care of herself and was living out of her car, and you go wife her up and take care of her, she is never going to fully understand how difficult it is to keep a consistent income and keep bills paid consistently. I spoke about this in the last video, and so many of y'all men was in my comments crying, but it's exactly what I'm talking about. Because I'm going to show y'all some clips of Monique talking about how his money doesn't matter to her. Oh, how interesting. When he mentioned he put a roof over your head because you couldn't even put a roof over your own self. And those women that refuse to acknowledge your tangible contribution to the relationship, they're doing it on purpose because they plan on undermining you. They plan on undervaluing you. Now, y'all can feel that way as you want to. I'm talking to the man's man who does not mind being valued for his resources and what he can produce. I'm not talking about the emotional man, I'm talking about value my personality first. Healthy men don't care about no other man goddamn personality. Who cares if a man's personality is so great, but you can't produce, but you can't work, but you a liability? It don't matter. You just as bad as the women talking about the inside that counts and not the outside. And she 350 pounds talking about her inside is so great. Nobody cares about the inside when the outside ain't together. The same with a man. I'm sure your personality is great. Sure, it's outstanding, but we don't care. What can you contribute to society first? Once we find out that, then we'll think about your personality or whatever. Okay. So I keep telling y'all, these women who, it's not about the money. First of all, they're lying, because yes, it is. That's the worst of a man saying, I don't want you just for sex. Shut up. Just shut up. So first of all, it's cap. First of all, it's a lie. And it's a cap and a lie to avoid having to give you certain levels of respect. Now, y'all fellas can argue with me till you blue in the face. I'm a woman, been a woman for 33 years. I suggest you take what I'm saying and you apply that in your life. Just take it for a second and think about it. I ain't got no dog in this fight. I don't need to lie to none of y'all to kick you at all. So, some men feel like, oh, don't listen to women because they'll always, give you advice based upon what benefits them. I don't need to do any of that. I don't care what none of y'all do. It's your business. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't need to appease you to give me what I want. I can get what I want on my own. I'm just letting y'all know the facts. Them women who won't acknowledge your tangible contribution is a red flag. So, the problem is you have people like the, Monique Samuels, not Tia Mowry, and Megan Goods, where they get with their husband and they be like, oh, I was in a dark time. You get with these men when you homeless, when you struggling, when you going through spiritual warfare. And the problem is you get with him when you're broken, and in your mind, he fixed you. Not knowing, can't nobody else fix you, you fix yourself. But now you've given him more credit than what he deserves in that aspect. And this man becomes almost like a savior to you. But the problem is, once you're no longer in that broken space, once you're no longer in that low space, that man begins to look different to you. I also can't tell you how many women between ages 35 and 40 want to leave their husbands because your fertility is dwindling. A lot of women, you don't know your anatomy, you don't know your body. So you start feeling certain things and don't understand why. This is why you need to know when you're ovulating. That's the reason why you're so frisky, sis. You're ovulating. Calm down for 2 days. Ovulation will go away. Don't go do some shit. Take a deep breath. Ma'am, your husband is not the source of why you're not happy. You're just 38 years old. Women do this. Remember, I talk to JoJo all the time. I say between the age of 37 and 39, women do the stupidest things. And that's normally when they will divorce their husband. And you're divorcing your husband out of the confusion of your anatomy as a woman. Your fertility is dwindling. You don't know how to handle that. The midlife crisis, and your solution is, I'll leave my husband. I'll start cheating. So many women don't know their bodies. So many women don't know the ages and stages of themselves as a woman, which is a big part of the problem. So these are the issues. Met her, she was homeless. Why would you as a man date a homeless woman? What are you, Captain Saver? Take them capes off. If I was a man, I'm not dating no woman who does not have a consistent history of sustaining herself as a grown adult. Because you're going to think this stuff is a game, and you're never going to fully appreciate what I do for you. Because until you have paid a home full of bills, transportation, food by yourself for a substantial period of time, you'll never get it. It'll always be a joke to you. So that was the one red flag. Met her when she was 19, first red flag. Met her, she was 19 and homeless, second red flag. Third red flag, they were together for 6 years before they got married. Fellas, when you're with a woman for over a year and you're still not sure if you want to marry her, don't forget that you as a man, you also have an intuition. That's God talking to you and telling you deep down that that's not the woman for you. The marriages that last longest are the people that get married fast. And when I say fast, I don't mean you get married after 2 weeks fast. I mean in 1 year, from meeting to 1 year, y'all both know, yes, this is for me. This is what we need. Those are the marriages that last. Fellas, if you got to be with a woman for 6 years to figure out if you want to marry her, you don't. I'm going to go ahead and help you. I don't want to hear, well, I'm not where I want to be in my career. And I don't want to hear, well, no. If a year has gone and you ain't ready to walk down the aisle, she ain't the one. Move on. This is why I tell my ladies, a year go by, no ring, bye. 2 years max if you're under 25. 2 years max, maybe under 27. Maybe. So as usual, people think, oh, we'll date for 6 years and then we'll get married. And that will ensure that we're ready. And the opposite is true. But take all that, you're fighting your intuition, let it go, baby. Let it go. Stop thinking because you just don't invested all these years in someone that you have to marry them. Which is why after a year, you need to break up. After a year, break up. Stop investing all that time somewhere if you're there for a good time, not a long time. You don't need to be with somebody 6 years to figure it out. That's the next place they went wrong. The next thing is we will look at how Monique pretty much complains about her duties as a wife. Now, I tell my girls this all the time. Ladies, if you're not in my Patreon, what are you doing? When you see me looking glam, my makeup, I do my makeup live on the Patreon for my videos and my live streams. It is a community of women who are solution-oriented, want to not be the victim, have accountability, and we help each other. We have movie nights, get-togethers. It is great, ladies. If you want a good support team, if you want all the tea on how to look good, if you're tired of being mean and ugly, come to Death Row. Come get this lethal injection, honey. We getting it in over there. Don't come over there if you want someone to lie to you and make you comfortable in your mediocrity. Don't come here, okay? We get it in over here. And so we were in the Patreon and we were having a conversation about how, you know, you have got to spend less time figuring out if a man want to marry you and figure out if you want to marry him. If 80% of women are filing for divorce, that means 80% of women did not think this through as to how they can contribute to that man. You are the woman. You will have to do most of the compromising, most of the acquiescing to the man. He really won't have to change that much. You will. So you need to figure out when you're dating this man, pay attention. Stop being so stupid, sitting there wondering, I wonder if he wants to marry me. Who cares? If he's there, he's spending money, investing his time, 9 times out of 10, he wants to marry you. You worried about the wrong thing. Worry about, do you want to marry him? Let's think about dating a man like Chris Samuels. Athlete, got money, retired athlete. That means he is in the spotlight. That means he is the breadwinner. He makes way more bread than you will ever make on your best day. So to be with a man like that, it means playing the background, handling everything in the household, everything with the kids, being grateful to be here, letting him be the star, supporting him in that, shutting up, and being happy for the lifestyle. Lots of good sex, good food. That's it. That's what being with a man like him look like, which is why I do not and will never teach hypergamy. I will never teach y'all get the bag, level up, because most women cannot handle being with a man with money. Most women don't have the discipline and the logic to be with a man that has Chris Samuels type of money. And Monique is an example. Monique should have been with a warehouse worker that's home by 6 p.m. and will help you with the goddamn laundry. That's what y'all better realize. When you're with men with money, you're on your own most of the time. That's why you need to stop selling these girls dreams. Oh, get the bag, stop. Most women are not mature enough for that. Most women are way too needy for that. That's what being with a man like Chris would look like. Praise him, give him the spotlight, suck some peen, good sex, food, everything on your own. This is also why when you get married, stop cutting off your friends. Because a lot of y'all put pressure on your husbands that should be for your friends. You want him to provide you a good life. Every time you want to go on vacation, go shopping, you want to be able to swipe that card and it go through, not knowing how much of your time it would consume if you had to be making your own living to maintain that same lifestyle. You are saved so much time, so much stress by being able to swipe a card and not having to worry about putting the money in the account for it. Stop getting married, getting a relationship, and cutting off your girlfriends because you are supposed to help each other. You ever seen the old movies, all the wives outside gossiping, helping each other? That's what it's for. The man does not have time. Y'all be arguing with these men, talking about, well, you could help me around the house. Well, you know what? Fine. Go divorce and live by yourself and do everything by yourself still. What sense does that make? Oh, you don't help me, so I'm going to divorce you. So I'm going to break our kids apart, move into my own place, have to work, pay the bills, and still have to clean up everything myself and still have to clean up after the kids by myself. When you could stay married, because you know your dumb ass never had a conversation about household duties, logistics before you got married. You didn't. Let's just tell the truth. How many couples can say before you got married, you sat there and made a list of the household logistics and expectations, laundry, dishes? 98% of y'all did not. So you got to take your L. If you failed to negotiate that contract before you signed it, it's on you. So you would think the women would say, well, that's my bad. You know, maybe with time it'll get better, but right now it's not. It makes more sense for me to stay in my commitment than separating. And then I still have to do all this on my own. Okay. I'm sure many single women that have to work right now would tell y'all, I would take cleaning up the whole house like I do anyway, but not having to worry about paying for any of it any day. Chris Samuels, I got some girls for you. Forget her. Okay, she want to be ungrateful. I got some girls who'd be happy to go ahead and do what needs to be done. Y'all men have to stop getting with these emotional women. Y'all think emotional woman means, oh my God, like crying, watching a Notebook. No, emotional women are the women who say, life is not that serious. Do what you want. Those are emotional women. Please understand the difference. So we're going to see how Monique pretty much resents every part of being the wife to a man like Chris. Why did you marry him? Okay, let me go ahead and show y'all this. We're going to break some of this down. All right, this is cringy. I'm just letting y'all know now. Get ready for the cringe.
No, for real, just go on chill and let it take the, the bull by the horns every now and make it feel good.
I don't want to take the bull by the horn. I actually would love for Chris to be the bull, and then I'm just sitting on top of that thing. You know what I'm saying? Not just sexually. I'm talking about in our marriage with everything. And that is the big conversation that that we are having while y'all are watching the show, is that basically I'm like, look, I don't want to play all the roles. I just want to be sit back and just be me. And, that's been the dynamic of our relationship for so long. So he's a Leo. I'm a Libra.
A rich Leo. So
see, we ain't asked for that.
No, I'm just saying.
Nobody asked for your wealth status. Nobody asked about rich or nothing. No. Somebody asked what your sign was. Go ahead.
Can I talk? Mm-hmm. So Monique is right. I agree with Monique. I let her take a little bit too much, on her plate.
We got to get this recorded right here.
No, I'm being real.
Ladies in the comments who are single, working, paying your own bills, would you trade places with Monique? Let her know in the comments. Single ladies who are ready for marriage, doing the work, but now these men are terrified to get married because of these horrible wives. Leave in the comments. Would y'all trade places? Would y'all still clean the whole house yourself like you already do? Do your own laundry like you already do? But have a card with unlimited power to swipe? Okay, would y'all trade? Chris is handsome. Chris is a sweet guy. He's just a masculine guy. He don't got time to do fucking laundry. Are you serious? You want this big 6'8", 400-pound rich man to waste his time sorting the colors from the whites? Tell us more. Tell us more. Single ladies, let them know in the comments. Would you switch? Okay, would y'all be with a big 6'8", 400-pound sweet man like Chris? He say, hey, I'm rich. Okay. Okay, would y'all fuck, eat, and do laundry? Let her know in the comments, ladies. Leave her a nice message in the comments to get some sense into this woman's head. And even worse is it is alleged that Monique is cheating. And when I first heard this, I didn't believe it. But after seeing her behavior and paying attention to the things she's doing, I believe it. If I was Chris, I would get all them kids DNA tested. Because I know we all hate this word, but I feel like Monique is a narcissist. And Chris is being gaslit as though he's the problem when it's her. So now you're cheating on your rich, sweet, handsome husband with a broke personal trainer, allegedly. Talk about poor puss management. Boy, these married women out here, I tell you.
I know. I'm trying to capture this moment. Go ahead.
Put it on YouTube. No, so I let her put a little bit too much on her plate, and it's my fault. I had brought a lot of bread to the table, so I kind of justified it and let her do what she needed to do. And ultimately, it's not working now. And she's been asking me for a while to step up and handle certain things. I'm being real about it, so.
Listen.
Chris, please tell us the things that she wanted you to step up and do. Okay? This is why your network as women is important. The man don't got time for tedious, stupid things. A man's strength, a man's resilience is much better used to produce resources. A healthy man, he may help out here and there, but y'all need friends. This is what your female friends are for. Hey, could you watch the kids for me while I run here? Hey, could you? That is what your female friends are for. Y'all don't understand feminine fellowship correctly. You think men need a network, but women don't? And y'all put so much pressure on your husbands to be things that, if I'm just being honest with you, it's not his job to be to you. Please, Monique, Tell us what you wanted Chris to step up and doing in this humongous Potomac mansion. Let us know. Please, Monique, who has never had to worry about a roof over your head or food in your stomach. We ain't never heard of Chris cheating, beating, none of that. Tell us more, Monique, about what else you weren't getting. Tell us more about how it's not enough for you. Ooh.
What it is.
This is the thing.
You got to censor this before
you also got to read the comments, baby.
I ain't reading.
Somebody said, "Did he just start doing that?" No, this has been being how you are. This is how it's been the entire time.
Yeah, but
boy, she rolling them eyes. Being how you are, ma'am. You resent that man. You resent him. I'm actually glad you're leaving. It's actually better for you to leave him than to treat him like this and gaslight this man that he doing something wrong. My brother, damn, I wish I could just talk to you. My brother, it's over. It's over. You got this girl is a joke. This woman had no business being nobody's wife. This is a girl who wanted to be a singer. Okay, this is one of them girls, you won. You're married to a great guy. You ain't got to want for nothing. And this is the girl mad because her husband won't help her so she can pursue her singing career and her Dish Network career or whatever she wants. And this is why you don't get with no woman who has never been on her own successfully, who has never sustained herself as an adult, because now she thinks she's missing something. Now she want to be single. And now she wants this man to put aside what he had to do, bringing millions in to help her with her mediocre at best singing career. And now she's upset because he's not supporting her to be a singer. I would have left that in the club trying to get a record deal where I found her. This is not a woman who aspired to be a wife. This is not a woman whose goal was family and legacy. This is a woman, she wanted to be a pop singer. And now it's all coming out. It's all showing. Stop marrying people who don't really want to be a wife. Stop marrying people who don't want to really be a husband. Now she's irritated, like, oh my God, I have to actually be the woman of the house. Oh my God, I have to actually take care of his kids. And I have to actually like be a wife. Ew.
This is how we started, though, Monique.
And I was about to say that. This is how it's been since we've been dating. So what happened was, I used to be Chris's business manager. I was like working for him. Once we started dating.
Now keep in mind, he gave her a job because she was homeless. Please don't forget that part. The audacity. The audacity. You literally could not feed and house yourself. That man gave you a job and now you're using that against him. I got to hurry up and do this video on red flags that men don't know are red flags. So you were living in a van. He gave you a job and now you resent him for that. Okay.
I started working for him shortly after, right? So while we were dating, while he was playing in the NFL and everything else, I was handling everything, right? So in that sense, if I had to be the bad guy, if I had to look bad so that Chris can look great, if I had to handle whatever I handle, because
absolutely.
Not just because we were.
Absolutely. Yes. When you're with a man that got the money and he's a public figure, yeah, it's your job to protect him in that way. It is. Yep. It's your job to go out your way, do a little extra and inconvenience yourself to keep his image up. Yes, it is. Because the better his image is, the better the money come in for the family. Yep. Yep. It's your job to put out his fires. It's your job to make him look good. And yeah, it's your job to protect him. Once again, this is why I will never promote for women to go after rich, powerful men, because most of you could never handle it. You don't have the mentality to handle it.
We're together, but because I was working for him, it was my job. I did that. So when we got married, before we got married, we had conversations in marriage counseling. And I basically said to him, this has to change, because if we're now married, I can't keep covering you. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
Wow, what a statement there. Now that we're married, I can't keep covering you, ma'am. When you get married, that's when the covering is supposed to start. So you're saying that you're in marriage counseling, saying that pretty much you were like a personal assistant to him. That really is what a wife is when you think about it. A wife is like a glorified personal assistant. When you're with a powerful, rich man like him, it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you're with a powerful, rich man like that, yeah, you're pretty much a glorified personal assistant that gives him cooch. So let me get this straight. So this is why Chris, sweetie, you was getting goofy a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you because before you got married, she was complaining about, oh, when we get married, this has to change. I can't keep covering you. That should have been your clue, Chris, to skedaddle. When a man marries you, that's actually when you mostly begin to cover him. I hate it here, really.
You're the man of the house. Like, you gotta cover me.
There's been
Like,
some
we gotta.
situations where I've looked at too, but it's been some situations
Right.
where I should.
He is covering you in a 20,000 square foot mansion. I'm sorry. I can't. We just, I don't even know what to say. It's like a joke. Like, we really think everything is a joke. This girl really is about to get divorced at 40 with 3 kids and leave her sweet, loving, rich husband for a personal trainer. What is? No guidance, no structure, no rules. Nothing is serious. Everything is oppressive to you. Everything is misogynistic to y'all. Any kind of structure, you buck back. Throw them all away. Throw them away. This is why I have my own little circle with women who get it, because these women like this, it's just like a mental illness to me. It's insane to me. I don't even.
Should have looked out more for you.
It should have been. So we went into our marriage the same way that we were dating and doing business together, which was a huge mistake. We should have divided that line and made it very clear before I even walked down the aisle, honestly. So, and we both acknowledged that. So it's been a huge effort on both of our parts, me to let go and then also Chris to pick it up for the past decade. And what you're witnessing now is Monique, who is on her last leg and who is like, I'm fed up. I'm tired of having the same conversation all the time. And I really need for change to happen, not just saying, all right, I'm gonna do better. All right, I'm gonna do better. So that's where we are currently in this show. And for the people that keep saying, Monique, but you need to be quiet, you also have to remember we're filming a reality show. If it were like a normal everyday scene, first of all, when you're doing reality TV, your subconscious and your conscious mind has to be verbalized. So if I'm doing a lot of talking in the scene, it's because if I'm not driving the scene, we're not talking about anything. We're just going to be sitting there like this. Say something.
No. I will say this. I didn't know that was my cue. I'm sorry.
It wasn't a cue. I was showing them exactly what would happen.
No.
And you just did it.
Do it again. No, kids a week. No, I will say this. I forgot my point. She kissing on me, man. Like, things starting to happen down in my
So
childhood.
cringe.
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
gosh.
But anyway, no, I appreciate Monique. And a lot of people might be like, Monique is mouthy, she's bossy, she don't like her husband, she's going in on her husband. But I appreciate her for saying something, because how many women out there will sit back and not say anything and be miserable until they're divorced or miserable until they die, and they stay in a marriage that they're not happy with. So it's certain things that she's been voicing, and I'll be honest,
This did not age well.
missed the mark on it. And as much as she at times can get on my nerves of voicing these certain things, I'm finally actually starting to see myself, and I see that I need.
Now, I want to make something very clear, okay? There are some men where they do feel like because they have money that means they never have to consider you or never have to listen to you. It shouldn't be an extreme on one or the other. There should clearly be some form of balance. The problem comes where the women have expectations they just simply shouldn't have, where the women want men to do certain work that simply is a waste of time for him to do. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh my God, so because he have money, then she just should not have any say so, and she should just be quiet and just be a flower on the wall. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm sure that Chris has fell short in a marriage as well. I'm sure he's not perfect either. My problem is making a problem where there shouldn't be one. And I guarantee you the stuff that he's referring to are part of those things that really should not even be his responsibility. But I do understand there are men who feel like, oh, I got money, so therefore I got to do anything else. That's not healthy either. It shouldn't be on one extreme to another. It really should be a balance. Hello, balance is it's a season of balance right now. That's what we need. We need to stop having things be one extreme. Like, let's get a middle ground.
I need to change a few things so I can actually make her happy and make myself happy. It's a couple of things that I really didn't understand about myself.
The minute that you have to speak about making your spouse happy is the minute you messed up. Whether you are single or married, you will always have good seasons, bad seasons, happy seasons, depressed seasons, prosperous seasons, non-prosperous seasons. It will always be a thing. There will never be a time in your life where you are consistently happy. There will never be a time in your life where you consistently just feel like everything is lollipops and candy canes. It won't happen. And the problem is people have a bad season. People have go through changes in themselves as a person, and they attribute it to it's my spouse's fault. Oh, I'm going through these changes. I feel this way, and unfortunately, the person closest to us tends to be the one we throw our blame on, tends to be the one, unfortunately, we're the most mean to because we're technically the most comfortable with that person. So what happens is you so clueless that you think that because you're going through changes or going through a season that, it's you're the reason why I'm upset. You're the reason why I'm not happy. You're the reason. And what you fail to realize, my sweet love, is that whether you were single or married, you're going to have them good and them bad days. So what's going to happen when you're single and the husband ain't there no more and you still unhappy? Whose fault will it be then? By then it's too late. He got a new bitch. By the time you realize that. So stop this. I got to make you happy. No, you don't. We all grown adults. Make yourself happy. Everybody responsible for their own happiness. And what is happiness anyway but a fleeting emotion? Put too much emphasis on this happy word. Screw happy. It's here 1 minute, gone the next. Are you safe? Are you healthy? Are you content? Life is life. I don't think anyone's ever happy. I think we have happy moments. Our food is killing us. Look at the healthcare system. Who's really happy? All the mass shootings. Spare me with this happy crap. You might have happy moments, but this is war we're in. Ain't nobody happy in war. So can we stop with the emphasis on happy? What is that anyway?
That I was doing or the way I was. So I own it. It is what it is. I'm not like this terrible guy, but I'm not perfect either. And there's a few things that I can work on to be better. And if my wife needs me to step up in certain areas that I feel like, or she felt like I hadn't been doing, then it is what it is. And for the longest, I looked at the finances that I brought to the table. She lived a great lifestyle. I uplifted her in that area, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's more to it. It's small things, but really they're big things. So there's certain areas that I need to step up in, and I own that. I'm not going to.
Now, Monique has this idea that, which a lot of women feel. A lot of women feel like being a mother, they say, I'm more than a mother. A lot of women don't understand that being a mother is one of the highest honors you can have as a woman beside being a wife. And there are so many women who just feel like, I don't want to just be a wife and mom, not knowing like what better way to spend your life. So Monique is in this place where she still want to be seen, still want to be famous, still want to be a singer. So she feels like because Chris is retired, that now he should take care of the kids so she can go pursue her own career for money she don't need. When the reality is, when women do that, they're not going out there for the money. They're going out there because they're trying to get away from you and be able to be around other men. Who cares? Like, what are you doing? You have small children. You want to neglect your children at home and make your husband waste his time picking the kids up from daycare so you can go pursue a career that will never make a dollar, nowhere close to what he has accomplished. It's done. Where you could be spending your time in your real career, which it should be being a wife. Take care of your husband, take care of your kids, being there for them. But that's what he's referring to when he's saying, I wasn't helping. It was her saying, it's my turn now for my career to be a singer at 40. So can you watch the kids now? I can go be a singer at 40. And ain't who buying a Monique Samuels album? Raise your hand. Y'all leave a comment if you cannot wait to buy a goddamn Monique Samuels album. Please.
Shy away from it. And I'm up for the challenge because I want us to make it.
Chris did lose weight. He lost a lot of weight.
I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, we all stopped
My thing got bigger
eating.
too.
We all stopped eating.
You don't like me talking like that.
Because that's
I'm
all you
ignorant.
talk about.
You know it's over.
It did get bigger though.
When we stop laughing at your jokes, it's over. When you try to tell a joke and she be like, oh, baby, just let it go. Anyway, I'm not gonna watch any more of this because this is super duper cringe for me. This is cringe level 20 million. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all know I love to give y'all this is how this is gonna go prediction. Now, let me first say, divorce is about mourning. Okay, some people will say they graduate for divorce, and divorce doesn't mean you failed. It does mean you failed. Every divorce is like a death. Every divorce, requires a mourning. I just want to go ahead and say I don't take any pleasure or joy in seeing families break apart. I'm not looking for a gotcha moment. I'm not looking for, I'm not doing any of that. Okay, I simply am going to go ahead and give out the predictions. First, I'm going to give you my hope. My hope is that Monique realizes, sweetie, grow up. Okay. If you wanted to spend your time being a singer and being on your own, you had time to do that when you was 19. You're a 40-year-old married woman, of wife and mother of 3. Okay. Your children need you. You got boys, you got girls. Your children are used to having their mother and father in the same house. Don't do this to them. My hope is that someone talks Monique some sense into Monique, which they won't. Because what are the other women going to do? Especially other married women. Yeah, well, if you're not happy, you got to just do what you got to do. This is why I don't understand this whole, you're not married, you can't give relationship advice. Do you see what these married women are doing? Do you think these women out here could not be married? Okay. I guarantee you it's other married women giving her the worst advice right now. I guarantee you it'll be other married women telling her, yeah, it's about you now. It was always about him. It's about you. If you're not happy, yeah, you need to leave. So I'm hoping that there's a real ass bitch somewhere in Monique's life who will sit her down and be like, oh no, sweetie, let me go ahead and tell you, what are you doing? You ain't going to find a man like him ever again. Okay? Because remember, men are up on game now. They're going to look at your ex-husband and want to know why you're not with him. He's going to see your ex-husband 6'8", 400 pounds, rich, handsome, sweet, give you whatever you want. And that man going to be like, shit, I can't do anything for you. If you could be happy with him, what I'm supposed to have? 2 dicks? Each one bigger and harder than the next one? They're not doing it. Them man, Monique, they're going to get up there, sleep with you for a few months, maybe a year or 2, and then they gone. They're not marrying you between them 3 kids and your baby. They can't even beat your baby daddy up. Sometimes if you divorce, you can get remarried if the new man is richer than the old man, or he can beat the old man up. But can anybody beat up Chris big ass? And they can't beat him on no big bank, take little bank. So Monique, all you about to get is fucked. I'm hoping someone talks sense into her and she called the divorce and stay in her place as a wife and then just enjoy your life. Just go look at Savannah James. Go copy everything Savannah James is doing. Whoever want to know what it's like to be married to a high power man, just go to Savannah James and whatever she do the same thing. Okay? So that's what my hope is. Now, what do I know? I know there's a 95% chance that's not going to happen. What is going to happen is she'll divorce him. Okay? This trainer, whoever else she's sleeping with, she might think that she got a chance with him, might think he's going to be with her, but he won't. Chris will get a new woman. Okay. Her children will need therapy for the rest of their life to deal with the stress of their mother and father and all together while they watch their mom online trying to be a damn pop star. Monique will be single. Okay. Unfortunately, since she has been with him 10 years and she does have multiple children, unfortunately, she'll be financially stable through him. So she'll be able to go be a singer at 40 and try to start a career at 40, and she'll be able to do that because she'll still have that card to swipe to sustain herself. Chris will find a new woman. He'll probably never get remarried again, but he'll have a new woman that'll be a long-term girlfriend. She'll break her kids apart. She'll get fucked the rest of her life, and then she'll get old and turn bitter and be full of regret. That's how that's going to go. Good luck with that, sis. We have to start holding each other accountable as women. I'm tired of these wives acting a fool. I hate this situation. I hate to see divorce, but Here we go again. Another one. Are there women who divorce for good reasons? Yeah. To me, the only reason you should be divorcing is physical abuse, or if your man give you a disease, or bring a baby home, or is with white women. Ooh. But, you know, this whole, I just don't want to be a wife anymore, really make me sad to see. And, you know, my heart goes out to women now who are dating, want to get married. Like, the single women are seeing that men are seeing stuff like this, and the single women are like, oh, don't mind that. Her divorcing, even though her man is tall and handsome and sweet and rich and treats like a queen, and she's still divorcing. Oh, don't mind that. I don't know what she got going on. That's what single women are doing right now. These terrible wives. I want to say congratulations to wives in 2023. Y'all have single-handedly made marriage look so... You have officially made marriage look so unbearable that no one wants to do it anymore. So y'all get a round of applause for that. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all on the next one.